Hi, my name is Susan Barich, and I am at the conference for NBIA, their annual conference here in, what is this, April of 2013. And we were talking about some of the things that have changed in incubation since we started. Maybe I started working with Jim Robbins in 1995 on his advisory board for the Environmental Business Cluster, which was one of the first incubators in Silicon Valley. And one of the things that has changed, and I mentioned in a video earlier, we now have accelerators and other new forms. We now have co-working spaces. But the other thing that I wanted to talk about today is clusters. And so we now have clusters, which we didn't necessarily have names for 20 years ago, although Silicon Valley is probably the most successful economic cluster in modern history. I think Rome was probably pretty successful too, with war and stuff like that. So now we're looking at clusters. This administration, the Obama administration, with the input of people like Karen Mills, who is the current Small Business Administration administrator in Washington, D.C. And I believe Bruce Katz was working with her, I may be wrong on that, on a white paper that they wrote for the Brookings Institution, which was part of the administration, is part of the administration's criteria for funding and promoting regional innovation clusters. And so my company, Barich Business Services, was awarded a regional innovation cluster 2.5 years ago. And so I've been in this cluster business. We are dovetailing technology from Silicon Valley into the agricultural industry of Salinas Valley, which produces about 80% of the nation's fresh green stuff: celery, bok choy, lettuce, cabbages, and our growers produce about 90% of the nation's fresh berries, strawberries, raspberries, and so forth. So what we've learned about clusters is that just about every cluster that was stood up in these original 10 by SBA 2.5 years ago, we came together in San Diego at the beginning of this year, and we learned that Karen Mills asked us, how many of your clusters have incubators in them? And I think everybody, but maybe one, but I'm pretty sure everybody raised his or her hand to say, we all have incubators. So clusters and incubators are already working together. I think that the clusters could really use best practices information from NBIA. They think that they're presenting information at this meeting that they think is brand new, and I'm going, wait a minute, we did that at NBIA 15 years ago. So we're really looking forward to seeing NBIA expand into accelerator work, into co-working space, and of course into clusters. Thank you.